This is Audible.
IFC and Audible present a Portlandia Travelogue, the Brussels to Antwerp Express, written and performed by Candace Devereaux.
1, 2, 3. Check 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1. Is this the microphone I'm going to use?
Yes, it is.
Is there a reason that I didn't get a choice of microphones? Because I'm sure anyone else who comes into this studio gets their own choice.
Candace is just the one.
You know, I walk in and there's just... And can I get some tea, please?
Sure.
Hello? Welcome to the Brussels to Antwerp Express. I'm going to try to do that again. Hi, the Brussels to Antwerp Express. The Brussels to Antwerp Express. Good morning. The Brussels to Antwerp Express. I wrote this. The Brussels to Antwerp Express. A literary train journey through the erotic world of European train stations and mysterious faces by Candace Devereaux. An excerpt. Is it excerpt? Excerpt. An excerpt. An expert. An expert. An example. A segment. An edited portion. Welcome to my world of erotic fiction. Or is it fiction? Just ask Ehan Hejos, who cleans the black grease off the avenue overpass walls in central Ghent, or Leela Beaker, an extreme close-up face model, also from Ghent. Go ahead, ask them, if you can find them. Oh, they're there.
Hi, Candace. Sorry to stop you. It sounds like you just said there, like the same word twice in a row. And I'm afraid it might confuse people.
Excuse me? This is my studio time, and I will not be coached. I refuse. I refuse and refute.
Okay.
Believe me, I will yank this microphone out of the socket and throw it against the glass over and over again, like a game of handball. As I was saying, come with me. Follow me into my memories. I'm good at details. And when it comes to my erotic life, there are many details. Many. I arrived at Brussels International Airport from an indirect flight from Chicago at what an airport clock proclaimed was 7 a.m. The improbable time mocked my aching, beautiful body. My body? Let me describe it to you. I am mid-tall, roughly the size of a simple Peruvian fruit stand attendant. My naked back is spotted with freckle-like black dots, accented by stretch marks. I earned my stretch marks in high school, where I spent the majority of my time stretching. My hair is long and wild and flowing. It dances an aggressive dance in the wind. My octopi-like locks embrace my strong, slightly hunched shoulders and kiss the curves of my chest at the bottom of my bosom. My arms are curious and plain. These are kind arms. My hands are cold to the touch, but there's a warmth to my fingernails. My midsection is a bit like a pillow that would sit on a hostile bed, white and hastily presented. My legs are pale, but fantastically decorated with blemishes, as if an artist cleaned off a paintbrush on them after an intense painting session. I have never seen my derriere, but I have often heard it described from various evening mates as, yes, I like it. My feet are flat and perfunctory, but there is a sensualness to them from afar. My whole body writhes constantly. I writhe when I walk, I writhe in cars, and I writhed for the entirety of my flight to Belgium. What would the past tense be? I writhed? I had writhen. And I had writhen the entirety of my flight to Belgium. And I was writhing for the entirety of my flight to Belgium. During my flight to Belgium, I writhed constantly. In my flight to Belgium, I was writhing. There was writhing going on in my seat on my flight to Belgium, and it was me. The Belgian flight was filled with writhing from one seat, mine. My feet are flat and perfunctory, but there is a sensualness to them from afar. Oh, I did that paragraph already. Damn it. Delete that, please.
All right, deleted.
Show me you're deleting it.
Candace, it's gone.
Show me.
I promise it's gone.
Thank you. I walked through the airport following signs that read, Customs, Dune. I felt sensually international. I could see that people along the way were looking at me. My loose and layered style and hostile walk must look quite appealing to world travelers. The pounding of my wood clogs are loud, even on airport carpeting. And we'll insert some sound effects there. I approached the customs agent who sat high in a black booth. Hello, I said as I pushed my American passport towards him. He had slight black stubble with rectangular glasses with metallic. He had slight black stubble and a rectangular. He had slight black stubble with rectangular glasses with metallic gray frames. Ooh, that was it. A dark blue hat rested atop his large European head. I thought, what is he like at home? Is he married? Did he go to a fancy police academy? How long is your stay? He asked me in his intoxicating Belgian accent. I wondered what it would be like to kiss him. His thin, stubbled lips. To be invited into his glass booth and embrace him hotly, while a long line of world travelers waited and watched us. 2 weeks, I answered in a vaguely seductive but official tone. He glanced at the photo in my passport. Was he fantasizing about being the photographer of that picture? About reaching over and rubbing my face? I imagined punching through the glass and rubbing his face. He wordlessly stamped my passport. I think he wanted me to see that his hands were strong and decisive. I decided to plant myself there in front of him, staring, unsmiling. Move, please, yelled another customs agent from the exit. I answered, my gaze still affixed to the agent in front of me. Oh, I'll move. I'll move a lot. I clogged away slowly and loudly. My plan was to take a cross-country trip through Belgium. In my youth, I had read so much about the blunt eroticism of this part of Europe. Before French kissing became the celebrated physical manifestation of lovers around the world, there was Belgian kissing. Belgian kissing was purely all upper lip. Traditionally, the lower lip remained motionless and mort, dead, while the tongue hid away at the very back of the mouth. Ooh, the very thought of it makes me writhe, right here as I write. I writhe as I write. I'm writhing as I record this. Can you feel me writhing? I yearned for rest before my trip within a journey, so I went and checked into the hotel in Schaerbeek. Schaerbeek, what is that? What was it? Schaerbeek. I could swear it was Schaerbeek. I was told by someone it was Schaerbeek, but Schaerbeek. So I went and checked into the hotel. Is it hotel? Hotel. Into a hotel in the Schaerbeek area of Brussels. I walked loudly into the hotel lobby, my shoes hitting the pink marble floor, like Norwegian construction hammers. Book, 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 book. I'm sorry, was that shrill and annoying? I'm sorry about that. I'll do it lower. Buck, 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 buck. A bellman raised his eyebrows and held his ears. I wonder if he had ever seen a creature like me, hungry, searching, loving, open-mouthed. I approached the clerk at the front desk and made immediate eye contact with him. He was tall and barely elegant. One could describe his face as that of a dum-dum, but I saw that he had some of that old hotel wisdom in his eyes. His hair was as jet black as the juice from a can of black beans. Thank you, I wrote that myself. I was originally going to write octopus ink, but I used octopus originally in the first part of this. I'm just giving you a behind the scenes. This is sort of audiobook commentary. But I thought a can of black beans, that is so black. There's a sort of almost blueness to it. I'll continue. Checking in, he asked. How do you know I speak English? Is it the quality of my face? I replied. No, he retorted. We generally speak English in the hotel industry. Ah, I said. My smile was like that of a seductress who carefully chooses a mating partner, much like a zoo animal pacing from side to side. waiting as a zookeeper sends in the next potential animal mate. That makes sense. Does this hotel have a spa? I'm afraid not, madame, he said apologetically. He checked me in and handed me a little iron key. As he placed it in my hand, I wrapped my fingers around his hands. Your hands are quite cold, he whispered. Then let's make them hot. Suddenly, I was giving him a deep hand massage. I used my own hand sweat as massage oil. Shall we continue this up in my room? I asked. He shrugged and we made our way upstairs immediately. I would like everyone out there listening to know that the recording engineer is rolling his eyes and rubbing his temples. And you will leave that in this recording, sir.
Okay.
We were on my lopsided gray bed in a matter of minutes, my luggage having been thrown down by the door. I was in such a state of sensual turmoil that the bottom corners of my suitcase cracked upon impact of hitting the floor. We took turns giving each other lingering back rubs. My fingers traced his neck. His European cigarette fingers massaged my scalp and forehead. I could hear my own breathing. Oh. Oh, I uttered. I love the feel of your skin. Have you ever tried Belgian kissing? No, he said. We then fell into intense holding, which escalated into a naked embrace. I'm about to writhe, I confessed. Want to see me writhe? I suppose, he replied. I writhed under him like a dog wanting to escape from a needy owner. The rickety bed sang the music of our lovemaking. It was like a symphony, but with rusty jazz instruments. Squeak, squeak. I was in Europe, and E.T. did not want to phone home. I awoke the next morning to an empty bed. My trip was off to a perfect start. I cleaned myself up, greedily ate 2 chocolate croissants, and headed for the train station. Croissants is a French food. It's a bread, pronounced croissants. I bought an express ticket to Antwerp. The hallway to my cabin was tight, and I found myself rubbing up against various businessmen and businesswomen. They seemed used to this kind of rubby contact. That's Belgian life. I hadn't heard the train depart, but suddenly we were on our way. I sat and looked out the window, imagining the love lives of strangers. My mind is often lost in fantasy and memories of erotic events, both mine and those acted out in films. My hands often wander down to my thighs and upwards to the upper region from there. They meander and soothe. Sometimes my eyes roll around, signaling my throat to let out a quiet grunt. A lady ticket inspector roused me from my dreams. Tickets? My ticket, yes. Hold on. Let me see if it's in my bag. She waited patiently while I searched. My fingers prodded into my belongings, and I could tell she was intrigued by my movements. Can you help me look? Can you help me look? Can you help me look? I asked. I suppose, she said in her thick accent. Suddenly, our hands were intertwined in my travel bag. Our search for my ticket became a twisted hand frenzy. The train was going at a high speed. A little Belgian town rushed past my window. I wondered if any townspeople could see us in our sweaty physical state. I was breathing heavily. My sighing became so loud that she told me, "Shh, please." I gasped and my Lord, why do I write like this? I gasped in ecstasy as we fell into each other's arms. Oops, I said breathlessly. Here's my ticket, up on this clip on top of my seat. She laughed, punched a hole in the ticket, and set it back. Now it's sleeping, she said. I didn't quite understand if that was some sort of a joke, or maybe there's a different sensibility in this foreign language. I pretended to get it. All right, bedtime for ticket. She laughed again and again, louder and louder, and went on towards the back of the train. I faced my window, but kept my eyes closed. I was on my way to Antwerp, the place of my sensual daydreams. Antwerp, Antwerp, Antwerp. My fingers gently brushed the outside of my breasts and belly. I thought about my future adventures and memories of debauchery from my past. I felt gratified, but still wanting to explore. My erotic travels were just beginning. Suddenly, I felt a writhe-on blooming. Candace Devereaux.
Portlandia Thursdays at 10 on IFC. And visit audible.com for more comedy and choose from our collection of more than 180,000 audiobooks.
Audible hopes you have enjoyed this program.